This video, I'm going to show you how we can sum values in a range, and our range will be dynamic. What do I mean? I want to sum up to month 3 and for the ID to be 2318. So I want 2318 is here. So I want to sum up to 3. I want to sum these 3 here. So I have a drop down here. I choose 3. Then I also choose 2318, and it gives me a total of 2524. You can prove that 2318 is here. We are summing up the first 3 here. You can see we get 2524. And this one is dynamic. If I go to 2 months, then it sums these 2, which you can see is the right total over there. So this is what we are going to be doing, and this was a question by someone. It says he had data in this format. He wants to sum, these are months and these are IDs, and he wants to sum up to maybe the 5th month here, but for a particular ID. In that case, it will be this, and the amount is that. So this is what we're going to do. Now, I'm going to show you 2 methods. The first method I'm going to show you is going to use a combination of functions: the index function, the filter function, the merge function, and lastly, the sum. In the second example, I'm going to show you a simpler one, which uses the sum product. This is the same data. The first thing I'm going to do is put drop downs for the month. I say that get from a range, and my range is right here. Move this out of the way. It should go up to number 12 under advanced options. I change it to arrow. Say done. Say okay. I'm also going to put a drop down on. So this is my drop down for the months, which is okay. Then here I'm also going to put another drop down for the lookup. So from a range, and I'm going to select these values here. Say okay. I go to advanced options and change the way it looks. I'm interested in this. Say done, and there you have your months and IDs. So our interest is getting a total for up to the 4th month, and ID is 2314. Month 4, 2314. So it sums all these up to month 4. And I want it to be dynamic. So when I play down, when I change these drop downs, the values in these 2 drop downs, the sum will automatically change right here. So I can see for the first 4 months, the sum is 2088 for my sum down here. So I should be able to get 2088, and we shall see whether we get to that. So I'm going to take you step by step and show you how this one works. Now I want to sum up to the 4th month. Before I sum these up to the 4th month, I need to get those values up to the 4th month. So the function I think of is the filter function, and the values I want to be returned in my first argument should come from this. I'm going to filter from this data set, then comma, the condition on which I'm gonna base is these months here, and we're saying the months should be less than or equal to, the value of those months should be less or equal to what is in selected here. I close my brackets, press enter. So you're going to observe that it is picking these values for month 1, month 2, month 3, month 4, which is putting here. And now, after I get this, I also need particular for 212314 ID, which is the first one here. So how do I change this to bring me this first item, this first row here, which is this one here? Now, the other thing I can think of, Ogogo sheet function, is I enclose this in the index function. The index function takes an array and then the column number and the row, which are optional. So if I put 1, 1, you see it gives me the first row which I'm interested in summing. Now, what I've done here, I've hard-coded 1, but that is not my interest. I don't want to keep, now if I want row 2 here, which is made up of these 4 values highlighted there, I need to go in here and change it to 2. When I do that, you can see it changes to this. So this is not what I want. I want this 2 to be dynamic. And how can I make it dynamic? You guessed it, you must use another Google Sheet function, which is the match function. So instead of these 2, I'm going to use another Google Sheet function, which is the match, because the match returns a position. So the search key will be what I have here, comma, the range from which I'm picking what I'm searching will be that, and I'm interested in an exact match. I enclose the match function, press enter. When I do that, you can see, because I've selected 4 and 2314, it returns me the first row there. If I want 2316, I change this to 2316. You can see it returns me this row here. Of course, I can also increase the months, maybe to 7. You see it goes up to month 7. So my total is dynamic. You take it step by step. Step 1 was to filter out the data that we want to sum. Now that we have the data that we want to sum, the rest is easy. We just enclose here the sum function. So let me copy this and I put it where I want it. I want it here. Then I have to enclose it with the sum function. And there you go. So it is telling me if I sum up to month 7 for 2316, we can check that up to month 7. You can see the total is 4116, and this is 4116. I had put here total up to month 4. Let's check that. Put 4, and this was for the first one, which is that. You can see these are the same. So this is summing that month 1 to month 4, which is 2088. So I have a dynamic function with which dynamically chooses what to be summed. That is powerful. In this example, I'm going to show you how we can achieve the same using the Sumproduct function. Now, before I go into the details, I want to show you something right here. If I get this range, put it in brackets, I multiply it by where this range, of course, we want this range to be equal to whatever is selected here, and I multiply it. Of course, this one is going to turn true and false, true and false. If you want to see that, let's first show you this. Okay. If I combine, put Ctrl Shift Enter, surround it with array formula, you're going to see you get false, 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 true. Why is it true? 2318 is the same as this. If I change this 2314, this is the first value, and this is also the first value true here. So whatever I select here becomes true in here. That's one. Two, and the other one we want is this range here should be less than or equal to the value that we select here. Okay? Actually, I'm supposed to enclose it in array formula. When I do that, you're going to see that I have true, true, true for the first ones. Then the rest are falses. And why are the first four true? Because I said this range has to be less or equal to B2, and B2 has 4. If I change this one to 5, number 5 also becomes true and the rest false, like so. Now, what I'm going to do is this. I'm going to multiply this true with this true. And in computer language, true is 1, and also another true is 1. So I'll be multiplying 1 by 1 to get 1. That's why I get 1. If I multiply the false in computer language is 0, and the true is 1. If I multiply these two, I'm going to get 0. True is 1 times 0, we get 0. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to form a table like this. So at the end of the day, we shall see that where there is true and true will be in these ones here, because this is true. To be 1 times 1 times 1, 1 by 1, you get 1. So these ones are going to be true up to this point. And using that, I can sum or multiply to get the others. So that is the logic. Now let's implement it. Now, I'm going to use the Sumproduct. So as I told you, I'm going to take this array here, and I'm going to say must be less than or equal to the value here, open brackets, close brackets, times, this is what I did, which I showed you. This array here must equal to the value here, multiply those. I'm going to get the zeros and ones and the truths. Then again, I'm going to multiply that with my entire range here. So what's going to happen if I have, when I multiply these first two, I'll either get a 0 or 1. Now, wherever there is 1 will be the true, which I showed you earlier. Now that true 1 will be multiplied by any of those values in this range I've selected. So you'll find that the ones that I have, and then after that, it will sum them. That's what the product sum function does. So I close my bracket there, hit enter. So this is the answer. So I copy this, I put it right here. So let's check row 5 up to column 5, 2314, 2314 up to 5. The answer is 2384, which is here 2384. If I say up to 3, 1763, 1760. So this way, you can also use this option to get your correct answer. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you have not. Like the video, give me your comments if you have found this helpful. Share, and see you in the next video.